question, we are going to take a look at your photos here. Let me just make this bigger so that it shows a full size. There you go. Alright, so actually, this is actually a pretty good photo. I mean, before the edits, yeah, they don't look so good. Here, I'll show you what yours looks like before the edits real quick. Let me just find it over here. So before the edits, you know, this is what one of them looks like. That's the regular one, maybe. So it's not too bad. That's what the bright one looks like over here. And then there is the dark one, which is this one. And then those are basically combined and creates this one. So it's not a bad photo. It's actually, now I don't say they're good photos or bad photos. I've mentioned before, I say whether they're deliverable or they're not deliverable. And let's see, did you have this straight? If you had your camera straight, this should be in a straight line and not at an angle. So I'll just grab a rule here, and yeah, it's, for the most part, it's straight. Like, it's not bad. Maybe a little bit not straight, but deliverable for sure. Let's go to the next one. Either of these two have been deliverable. I prefer the first one, just because you're not cutting this off, but I don't know, just because it looks like a little bowl of grass. But I prefer the first one. Oh, it is a bowl of grass, but it's better when you see the whole thing. But this is also deliverable. It might looks like it might be a little crooked. No, not too much. Yeah, that's not too bad. And our version that we delivered, I'm not sure if I took it or if Saul took it. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. It is this one right here. So it's pretty much the same. The only difference is your tripod's a little too high compared to ours. Yeah, we don't, I mean, you don't really notice it too much, so like the picture's pretty much well composed. What I would do this is pull the camera back a little bit more and raise it so we're not looking down into the bowl right here. Yep, that is a good photo of the shower. We have this too, I believe. And maybe not. We have it for the yeah, this is a little better. I wouldn't too worry about this door being in too much, because what I do is I just hit the crop tool and then just crop it down a little bit to get that out of there and say done, and then that's it. I think this one's better than the other one because we're not looking down too much into the bowl of the sink. It's just because the sink's so close to you, so you just want to scoot back a little bit if possible. I mean, I know you already saw the door frame over here. So one thing when you look at it doesn't matter whether it's the kitchen sink or the bathroom sinks, is how far into the bowl you're looking into it, because we don't want to see too far into that. And as I showed you ours, I'll show you the other ones too. You know, we can't really see into it. It's just like a perfect, it's not perfect angle, but it's a good angle. And then for the primary one. Same thing here, we're not looking down into it. I mean, we do want the camera above the counter so we can see on top of the counter, but not too high where we're looking almost straight down into the bowl. But let's go to the next one. We'll save that. Okay, so this guy right here. I know you took a bunch of these, and this is the last one you took because it loaded these in reverse order. That's why I showed the bathroom first. So if this was delivered to me, I'd see if I can just crop this out there, a little bit there. I don't want to cut too much of the bed, but then I want to try to get the bed in the center. So it's not a huge deal if that happens, but it's better to fix it in camera than having to fix it in post. So let's go there, don't save, I'll save that. This is a good shot. I know you were concerned about the exposures for these, so let me get these up on this screen. So this is the brightest one that you had on there. So I wouldn't have worried too much about if you're okay. Let's put it this way. I know it was bright, and you want to expose for basically the room, like not the windows. Basically, you don't want to expose for the windows. Don't worry about the windows being too bright, because that's what you were worried about in this one. But it was edited good. The next one is pretty much the same exposure. I see this one's a little darker. So you don't want to worry about the windows being too bright in where you're looking in the monitor camera, because the dark exposure will fix the window pull. And if you're concerned, just what I used to do when I used to use that camera that you use here, because it only took 3 exposures, and if the dark exposure, like if the windows were blown out, like it was super bright, that's what I mean when it was blown out, I would just reshoot it. I wouldn't touch the camera. I would keep it in the same position, and I'd reshoot it, but I would expose for the window. And then what I would do, and I'd have 2 sets here, and I would delete. I would keep the first set I took, which is not exposed for the window, and I delete the darkest one, and then for the next set, identical set, but I exposed for the window this time, I would keep the one that shows the whatever's outside the window the best, and then I'd delete the other one. So then I'd have three of them, then I have the correct what I need for the window pull. It's a little better. I mean, it's exposed pretty much the same. But you know, in here I can also maybe make adjustments. You know, there's gotta reload it, and I gotta find where your here there. So I gotta find where your files are. Some minor technical difficulties, but we're back here. I had to reload this, see where we're at. Over here. Yeah, this isn't a bad, like, I always tell you guys to take this just in case there's a shot there. I usually don't deliver it if I can't see the bed down here, the bottoms of the bed. But if I don't have, I mean, this isn't the bad, like, you have it straight, which is good. Let me use this guy right here. You have it straight for the, like, you can't tell with the naked eye that that's not perfectly straight, and you're rarely gonna get it perfectly straight. I mean, the ceiling is a little twisted, but I don't know, like, all the important things is, for the most part, the bed is straight. Sometimes you might have the bed pulled away from the wall a little bit and it's not perfectly straight, so if you're having trouble in camera trying to adjust that, then you might want to check that. But this is actually a good photo. I would only deliver it if, like, I gotta check with that. I use the AI editor, so I just noticed that these things are not the same color. That guy and that guy. See, how did I clear it? Okay, I guess I press that button. So, because on the ones that I delivered, they should be the same color. Where is it? Bedroom. That's not. So I'm looking on another screen over here. I guess they are a little off color. But anyhow, like, on to the next one. I forgot what I was talking about. Don't save. Okay, so that's the next one. You took a picture of the same thing. On the camera with 3 exposures, if you don't like a photo, delete the 3. Well, actually, don't delete the 3 and just keep it there, because sometimes in the beginning, like, you're not sure where you deleted at, so might lose count. So yeah, don't delete anything off the camera. Just try to take fewer duplicates. I just see you keep adjusting make it more straight. I don't know why the room's not straight. Because if I put that there, you see there's all that space right here. And then it starts going straight over here, which is weird. Let's go to the next one. Don't save. More of this. This is a photo, obviously yes, take it. But this is just in case they're like, did you take a picture of the closets? I wouldn't deliver it, but I just hold on to it in case they ask for it. This one's not bad. I see a shadow right here. Unless that's a tree or something, but no, you see there's no shadow here. This one's definitely deliverable. These are not bad photos. Yeah, it's perfectly straight for what we need it to be. You see how there's like not much difference? Like, just pick one. Pick an angle in the camera before you take it. Make sure it's straight. And to be honest, the real estate agent isn't going to be like this, like measuring, make sure everything's perfectly straight. Like, these are perfectly straight because everything's up and down, straight line for the most part, yeah. Like on these, the angle ones that you, like, there's you're not going to get a straight line because it's at an angle. And that's why I mean, like, for the straight on shots that we were looking at earlier, you'd have this gap because it's not perfectly straight. It'll look tilted. Got another one. Another one. This one, even though you got a little bit of the wall, it's still still counts as 3 walls. So I'm not sure why you took 20 photos of the same thing. This one right here. The purpose of this shot is, well, there's one of two purposes. It depends on which side you're shooting from. It's either get the window or get the door. So you chose the window on this one. And also remember, the door stays open because you see it looks like the room just stops there. If we see the rest of the house, and it makes the room look a little bigger. And if you want to get the door in the shot, then it's okay to cut off part of the window. Try to do it on one of these window panes. That's what I do. On to the next one. Same thing. So you see this one almost looks like the one that I cropped. It looks like you're just adjusting the exposure here. You see, like, it, for the most part, the exposure all comes out similar because the editor, well, I use an AI editor, but the editor pretty much fixes that. Same thing. And same thing. Yeah. So every angle that you shot from is pretty much deliverable, so you're doing a good job. And just remember, at the bedroom, step 1, put your camera down. Step 2, make sure it's level. You want it to be level this way and this way. So, and then step 3, when you're leveling it, don't look into your monitor to level it. And when I say monitor, I mean the screen, but it's called a monitor. Don't look into the monitor to level it because you'll just get lost. Just look at the bubble leveler and play the Etch a Sketch game, twisting the knobs till it's the bubbles in the center. And then when you got that set, then look at your monitor and see if it's matching the bubble leveler. Then once you got that down, then look for your angle shot or straight on shot. Start adjusting. I'll rephrase that. Once you got that down, start looking for your composition. That's how, bad composition would be if you only take, where is it? Like, if you take this shot of the room, like, that doesn't look good. That's bad composition. Everything's composed the wrong way, so we don't want to see that. Let's go back. So composition is make sure everything's set up. Everything looks the way it's laid out. What's this dog just pacing around? So yeah. So, and then once you get that done, just go to different spots of the room. Like here you are at the first shot is the entryway, which is where you're at. The next shot would be straight on shot in front of the bed. Then the next shot will be this corner. Then the next shot will be this side of the bed, looking straight on. This is straight on, looking across the bed. This is straight on, looking down the bed. And then you want to take corner shot angle. This one you'd be focusing on the door, or this one you'd be focusing on the door, because you can't really look at the window on this one because it's right behind you pretty much. And then you got to get this corner here. When you take this straight on shot here, see if you can get into one of these closets so you can get a better angle. Whenever you see a closet, your first thought should be, I can get in there and get a bigger, make the room look bigger, basically, because you're further in. You know, there's more space between you and the bed. That's it. So pretty much one room, like setting up and taking a shot. Like this should take 1 minute here. This should take 1 minute here. Okay, let's say you're new. This should take like maybe 2 minutes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So one room for you should be about 8 to 12. Well, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. So one room should be 7 to 14 minutes for you to shoot. If once you get better, like this shot will take you 30 seconds to shoot, this shot will take you 30 seconds, because you already know where you're going to put the camera, you already know where you're going to point it at, and you already know how to level it pretty quickly, and then just take the shot, and then you're not going to worry about it, and then you're going to move on to the next spot, then move to the next spot, move to the next spot, move to the next spot. That's why when you see me moving around the room, I already know where I'm going to put the camera, I already know how to compose it. Like in the beginning, I used to take, like I'd come home and I'd have 80 photos that I took, and I have to cut it down to like 30 to 40, because I took all of these extra photos just like you did. And then eventually I started taking less and less and less, because you become more confident in the shots that you're taking. But overall, you did a good job. We'll see, like when we get to the one tomorrow in, I don't know, where did I say it was at? It's at noon. So it is in Carmel, and it's just gonna be like Scott's maybe, and Scott's not gonna be there, because I only have, like, I don't need to rush it. That's the only one I got tomorrow. So I'm gonna send you to the room, and this is why I send you to the room, because if you can once you master the room, all the rooms look the same for the most part. There's gonna be a bed somewhere, the room's gonna be a rectangle, there's gonna be a closet somewhere, there's gonna be a window on the opposite, there's the door frame where you take your first photo, all the same. It might be a little bit different here and there, but not too much. And then when you hit that little different one, then it might take you a couple minutes longer for you to figure out how to get the angle or whatever. But for example, let's say the living room. Let me clear this. Like, you look at this living room, and then you're like not exactly sure how to shoot the living room, because it's all open concept. There's no walls. It just flows from living room to dining room to kitchen. The way to do it is like this. You just create separate rooms. That's living room. You get the idea. The living room's one room. The kitchen's another room. The dining room's another room. And the kitchen's another room. If you're looking at it top down, then actually we can look at it top down. Let me clear this. If you are looking at it, where is it? 1 second. Because I have a floor plan. So this is the floor plan that gets created from the scans that you take. So the living room's right here, dining room's right here, and kitchen's right here. So as I mentioned, you just within your mind you make living room one room, then you make the dining room another room, then you make the kitchen another room. Even though they all flow into each other, you gotta separate it in your mind this way. And then once you get it like that, in the living room, you take a shot from here, take a shot from here, 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 just like a bedroom. You deliver all shots. And let's not forget here. So this one is just straight on this way. This one's your corner. This is your straight on. This is your corner. This is straight on. This one shows off the fireplace. That one is, well, don't mind that. I'm looking for the fireplace shot. And I don't see it. Are these in order from name? Yes. Fireplace, fireplace. I think I delivered that in the wrong order, but that's okay. Okay, here it is. This is the one where we're back here, taking a picture of the fireplace. Whoops. Let's go back on that. Alright, what did I do with the floor plan? Oh, great. I gotta figure out where this goes. Okay, there we go. And then, where was I at? Okay, so that's the fireplace shot. This angle shot, straight on shot, angle shot. Same thing for the kitchen. You're gonna take shot here, here, here. I mean the dining room here, 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 and here. And they're all also gonna be going same direction as all the other rooms that you did. Then you do the kitchen. It's a little different because unlike this room and the other rooms, the kitchens are always going to be different. There's maybe like 5 different kinds of kitchens, and each one's going to be different. This one you might take one here. This one's a small kitchen. You take one here, take one here, you take one here. I'm not even gonna get into the kitchen because that's just gonna confuse you. It's like the kitchen is the last thing you're gonna do, but you get the concept on these things. And then the dining room's gonna be a little different too because the dining rooms are gonna be different. But if you take these shots, you're gonna recognize, okay, I've done this kitchen or this dining room before, and this shot's no good. Well, let me do a different one. You can be like, this shot's no good, this shot's no good, and this shot's no good. This shot's no good. So you still got 1, 2, 3, 4 shots. So you're in. If you shot this type of dining room setup before, you already know that these shots aren't going to work. So you're only going to take these shots 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only going to deliver maybe 3 shots of the dining room. You know, there's only so many ways you can show people a dining room. And then the same thing for living room. You're gonna be like, yeah, this type of living room I shot before. You know, this shot's not gonna work, and this shot's not gonna work, and this shot's not gonna work, and there's no fireplace, so I'm not gonna worry about that one, or whatever. But there still might be a focal point here, so there might be a TV there, so we are gonna shoot that. You eventually get to recognize which shots will work and which shots won't. Then you'll just take the shots that do work. So, and then the bedroom over here, you're gonna end up taking a shot. You did this, you did this, you did this, this, and this. And you know, this was straight on that way. This is a door entrance. That was straight on this way. This was an angle here. That's a straight on. That's an angle. There's a bed right here, so you didn't take it. And that's an angle shot. And you're gonna know which shots do and don't work eventually, just from experience. And you're gonna be like, yeah, this one, you know, it's just a shot of the closet that didn't, or in this pretend there's just like one single closet there, and it's like not important, so we're not gonna worry about that. Then you're gonna end up looking at this shot right here and this shot right here, and you're gonna be like, these two look almost the same, and I mean, since these two look the same, there's not enough space between the bed and the wall for me to take this shot where I have the whole bed in frame, or most of the bed in frame, so I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna keep this angle shot here. So you're only gonna end up taking corner, this corner, 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 and then this one right here. You can be like, well, this shot's kind of like this one, you know, where both of them are showing the window, so I'm not gonna worry about this one. Or the other way around, you know, depends on what the room looks like. So you'll get the experience of what will work, what won't work. But for now, you're gonna take all the shots. You're gonna take all of these shots. Let me erase these. Basically, you're gonna walk into a bedroom, and you're gonna start here, and then you're just gonna travel around. Go around the world in the bedroom. Same here. You're gonna start here. You're gonna travel around. Take the shots there. This is a sunroom. If I ask you to shoot here, you can do the same thing. You can travel around and take those shots. If I ask you to do a living room, you can travel around and take those shots. Same with here, etc., etc. Bathroom shots. I think I've mentioned it before. There's 2 shots like. If anything, I always try to deliver 2 shots of a bathroom. Only on the few occasions I've only delivered one, because the bathroom's just it's just horrible. But especially if it's staged, bathroom shots. Right here, this is a doorway. Take a shot going in, you take a shot going out. There's only 2 shots that you can take. Those are the 2 shots. The other shots, like these, are mandatory, in and out. So if I say go take a bathroom shots in and out, so that means you can take a picture of it going in, take a picture of it going out. I don't care if it's an angle shot at the sink, wherever the sink is, or if it's a straight shot. The one going out, this one should be a straight shot. And then if the bathroom's big enough, you're gonna be like, okay, well, let me see if I can take a picture of this sink straight on, or sometimes there's no room, but you might want to take it anyways to see what it looks like. Maybe you want to, if they have a cool shower, I'll just highlight the shower on its own photo. And that's the bathroom shot. And then eventually you'll take like what I was doing at that house. We call it detail shots. Let's see if I can find one here. That's where it's zoomed in. So one example of a detail shot I did for that house. Like this is a detail shot. Dang it. You can see it just zoomed in. There's no 3 walls. It just shows what the kitchen looks like up close. And then I did this one right here. Zoomed in. I was just saying, make sure no one's in the reflection. But you'll worry about that later. Tomorrow at the shoot, I'll be looking for some details. I usually do those at the end because I have to switch lenses, and I switch lenses at the end. But alright, I'll send this off to you.